Hello everyone, John Curran, Behaviour Specialist here. Quick video for you today. We're going to chat about how negative behaviour or challenging behaviour can become quite consuming for adult figures who are involved in an individual who's challenging on a regular basis. And obviously the negative mindset that it can kind of have for people or impact on people in a certain way, where they basically can't see anything but negatives, find it very difficult to focus on any type of positive, and the psychological impact that has on them as individuals in terms of their lives and where they're kind of heading. This is something that we experience a lot with adult figures that I'd be supporting on a regular basis. And this will be basically down to the length of time that this individual has been challenging through negative behaviour and the intensity of those displays, and obviously the amount of impact that has had over a period of time. So basically you can imagine if you were a parent or a professional involving an individual who challenges on a regular basis, you can imagine over a period of time how that would impact on you, how that would affect you, how that would impact on your focus, your outlook for that individual, for yourself. A lot of parents that I'd be involved with, they would be kind of saying, I'm dreading each day that kind of comes along. I can't seem to get it off my mind, even when the individual's not there. I'm consistently and constantly thinking about them and the possibilities of what might lie ahead when we encounter each other again. So basically when you go to bed at night, a lot of them might say, look, I don't really sleep much because again, I'm worried about the next morning. I'm worried about how this is going to start again and the impact that's going to have. When they go to school, again, I'm worried about, are they behaving in school? Are they impacting in school? Am I going to get a phone call from school that I'm going to have to manage and deal with something? Or when they come home from school, are we going to go straight back and do this again? Same in every environment. So again, for teachers, even in schools who are managing individuals who are quite challenging, maybe dreading that individual coming in, they're already thinking about the worst, the negatives that might impact that day before we even start our school day. Obviously, when you leave them off and go home from school, maybe they're panicking and worrying about the parent, if their relationship's good and communication's good, and everybody knows how difficult this situation is across the board, so across environments. So again, maybe they're going home thinking, no, I hope the parent's okay, I hope they manage that this evening. And again, their whole cycle becomes all consuming about this individual. And consuming even to the fact where I kind of teach a lot of adult figures the importance of recovery and re-entry. So basically when behaviour is challenging on a regular basis, we often stay very focused on that negative. We often can't recover from that negative. We can't see past that negative, and we allow it to kind of impact or have a knock-on effect in so many situations. So classic example that I would give, maybe for example, over the weekend period, the adult figures maybe experienced a negative situation or a challenge from this individual. It might last an hour, they might obviously resolve the situation, and you would be hoping at that point move on, but they find it very difficult to move past that. It maybe impacts the rest of that day. They were planning to go out and do something. Now this challenge has maybe affected that, affected their mindset, affected their positivity in terms of maybe, will we go and do that? Is it worth doing that? What if this went wrong if we went there? Maybe relationships, adult figures at home, mum and dad, maybe start bickering or fighting about that situation or scenario, and no point in us going here now, we're late now, forget about it, we can't go. That's not fair on the other kids. And again, it starts to sort of have that knock-on effect, the situations and scenarios within the environment. Maybe you have a plan for the next day, but you're so annoyed about what happened on the Saturday that it's just affected that entire weekend. Much to the point where sometimes I contact the clients maybe on a Monday or a Tuesday, and the first question is, how was the weekend, how did things go? And they might just say it was a horrific weekend, terrible weekend. And once we get down to the crux of it and we get some information around it, it might only have been one maybe negative situation, and again a situation that they've probably managed, they've resolved, but they found it so hard to recover and re-enter within those situations and scenarios for this individual, and it's just had that negative knock-on effect. And that makes sure that for every adult figure that's involved, that it starts to become consuming. The negative individual here, the individual that's displaying negative behaviour, starts to consume every aspect of life for these adult figures, for these environments. And it only might take one situation from this individual to have a major knock-on on these pieces and start to affect the whole thing. And then psychologically, as I say, you just get drawn to negatives, you get focused on negatives. You find it very, very difficult to identify positives, or as I say, to recover from negative situations. And all that does is continuously impact you in terms of your outlook, your thought process, how you perceive an individual, your relationship with that individual, your attachment levels. Everything becomes negative and everything becomes more distant within that sort of piece. Even to the fact where it might impact on your own personal relationship with your husband, your own personal relationship with other kids within the family home, because it's having such a detrimental effect on you. And again, folks, this is very normal. These are all normal impacts and effects that individuals who challenge can have on a regular basis. But again, once you start a support service, once you start to figure out where people are and their mindset and their focus and they're actually processing of situations. Once you see where they are in terms of mentality, it's probably a negative mindset. We start to work on all these areas as we're going through adaptation and changes to impact positively on this individual. But that's one of the key areas, is getting people to psychologically change, psychologically look at positives, start to understand the amount of positive situations that are there, they're in front of you, they're available, how to recover quickly from a negative, how to get focused straight away on the positive and create opportunities for yourselves to recover, for this individual to recover, and they move forward and move on and start to create positive experiences, opportunities, outlooks for yourselves and for everyone that's kind of involved in those environments. And again, a lot easier said than done, and it takes a period of time to take people through these transitions. But again, it's important that people understand this is all very normal. This is how behaviour can impact and affect you. And again, we have to go through multiple transitions in multiple areas in order for this to be a progressive piece and to be positive. So again, hopefully it gives you a wee bit of insight, hopefully it gives you a wee bit more understanding on the situation and scenarios, and that the support set, it's not just about look at the individual, let's change this behaviour, let's impact positively in this behaviour, and we kind of sail through it. There's multiple areas that we always have to look at and we have to deal with as we kind of go along, and every person's different, every situation, scenario, everything within this ACE program is unique, so we have to make sure it's tailored to each individual's needs, where they're at, and take them through progressively in an achievable level. Hopefully you understand it, folks, as I say, and again there'll be more information coming with the uploads on the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, the Instagram page as we go along as well. Thank you.